as we're counting down to the go-home show for Monday Night Raw for WrestleMania 31, you got to think about what the main event of WrestleMania 31 is. And to some people, it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar because that is the main event. But to me, honestly, Triple H versus Sting seems to be the match that has the most appeal. I know that they're really playing this off like it's WCW versus WWE live here in 2014. I know that it would have been perfect if they would have been doing this a few years ago when they did the WCW. Maybe even it wasn't even just WCW. It was like the Monday Night War, series with the WWE video game, and it would have gone along pretty well. But to me, honestly, the Sting versus Triple H feud really got a real big kick in the pants last week with the end of Monday Night Raw, with Sting coming out to save Randy Orton. If you think back to the week before, I don't know what they were thinking. I know that people have told me that was Sting doing that promo, and there's some people who will defend it saying it was Dolph Ziggler. I have heard it back on YouTube, and people have tweaked with the audio, and it does sound exactly like Dolph Ziggler, but, the company response is that it was Sting. It was his voice inside of the promo, but I just didn't want to believe it, and I spent all week sort of shaking my head, thinking how stupid that was. Why not spend the money to fly Sting in, do the Monday Night Raw appearance? This is WrestleMania. I can understand if you were trying to save some money and, they were doing some sort of a match at, Payback or something like that with Sting, and you didn't want to waste it because it wasn't going to be one of the biggest, things in the history. But this is WrestleMania. This is Sting's first appearance. You can't be pulling stuff like that, and I think a lot of people felt like that was pretty dumb. And I don't know if they messed with the audio or not, like I said, but what I know is when you turned on the WWE Network after Monday Night Raw ended last week for that exclusive segment, when basically Sting and Randy Orton had the segment inside of the ring, I was pumped. I am not a big Randy Orton fan. I am not a Sting fan. That's all that was in the ring that night. They beat off the whole Authority right there in front of the ring, and everybody was watching. They were able to save Randy Orton when they was coming down to be 5 or 6 on 1 in the main event, when it was just supposed to be a 1-on-1 Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins match. The Authority, they were trying to work Orton to have a false sense of security that it was going to be an even 1-on-1 match, that Orton had broken down the Authority only to be, that whelp. Here they come. I'm about to get my ass kicked moment. And, as they were fighting them off, Randy was, throwing out RKOs. Everybody was going down. Sting was all fired up. Randy sort of said, hey, I'm a guy that sort of plays by my own. I don't need help. But that was pretty cool. I thought that would be pretty cool if, we were all together. But, with Sting, I'm not sure what they're doing. I've heard rumors that, he flew to WWE headquarters up there in Stamford, Connecticut. I heard that he was basically going to be filming some things that they would use sort of like in promos that leads up to WrestleMania 31, that they would play on SmackDown, that they would play on Raw. But then I do have on good authority that Sting is in LA for the show tomorrow, that he will be a part of it. The only thing I can guess is, when I think about WWE booking, when I think about WWE and the way they do things, is that, if people, get the one-ups on the Authority one week, they don't get the one-ups on it the next week. Especially when you think about Sting versus Triple H at WrestleMania 31, you got to be thinking that, Triple H is doing the honors, that Sting will be going over, much like when I think about the Undertaker match. Would Undertaker really come back to lose again after he lost last year? To lose 2 in a row, what does that really mean? Sting is a guy that's never wrestled for WWE. There were rumors that he would come in during the 90s. There was rumors that he would come in the late 90s when WCW closed. There was always that question if Sting would show up. It seemed like every year there was the question, would Sting re-sign with TNA, or would Sting go and would he work for WWE? There was rumors for Undertaker versus Sting at WrestleMania 27, 28, 30 and now 31. He's finally showing up. So you got to think Sting's got to be winning that match. But, does Sting just show up and be onslaughted by the Authority as well? You really can't have Seth Rollins. Well, maybe Seth Rollins does need to get some revenge. But he has his own feud going on with Randy Orton. But, when Sting has showed up, he's gotten Seth Rollins beat twice. Once at the Survivor Series when he had Dolph Ziggler pin him after the Scorpion Death Drop, and as well when Sting just showed up and got Big Show and Kane all fired up and they ran out of the ring. It made Seth Rollins get rolled up by John Cena, and that's what was able to bring Rowan, Ryback, and Ziggler from being fired. They were able to get them back in time for the Royal Rumble, even though Rowan wasn't in it. He was in it, but, it is what it is. But, is Sting coming back? I don't think that on Monday Night Raw, he's going to be getting the hero's welcome. I think that more than likely, if anybody's going to be showing any physicality, showing up before WrestleMania, it will be the Authority beating up Sting, sort of leaving him laying, making you think like, oh wow, Sting, he's got the better of the Authority the last 3-4 times this guy showed up, and he's been inside Triple H's head. This is the time Triple H is able to get his hands on him. Maybe Kane, maybe J&J Security, maybe Big Show. They rough this guy up in the corner, a little throwing some bows on this guy, beating him up, leaving him laying, and getting inside his head. But we'll have to see. Tomorrow's the big show, and we're all going to be fired up. The road to WrestleMania, it basically hits the end tomorrow. I mean, nobody's really going to be caring about SmackDown. If you're going to WrestleMania, you got no time in order to watch it on Thursday, but you'll be going to Access, the NXT show, Ring of Honor, and all that other mess. So you're going to be seeing a lot of wrestling going on. So basically, if they don't have anything figured out by tomorrow, it's all said and over, all done with. Go home show, Monday Night Raw on the road to WrestleMania 31 tomorrow. It's going to be great. Peace out.